I raised my prices 40% and made an extra $40,000 that year without having to add any more time to my services while still doing the exact same haircuts. That year I made $170,000 cutting hair behind the chair, and today I'm gonna be sharing with you the same strategy that I use to actually raise my prices, keep a majority of my clientele behind the chair to actually make more money, but yet in less time. And by the end of the video, you're gonna know how to do the exact same. Now, before I raised my prices, I was cutting hair every single day, and I was booked up every day that I went into the barbershop. But since I was cutting hair all day, every day, eventually I got tired. And I started to feel stuck because I didn't really know how to make any more money inside the shop. Now, even though I did a bunch of marketing and I had a high volume of clients, I didn't actually know how to build demand, how to get it to the point where I could open up my phone, see my schedule, and see that I was booked up a week or two in advance. I had a lot of clients, but I had no demand. And that was the real problem. Now, I'm here to share the keys, the gems, and the lessons that I've learned so that you can totally skip that phase, build your clientele the right way, and know how to get into the perfect position to be able to actually raise your prices. Now, first we have to understand the types of price raises because there are multiple types of price raises. For example, you have the first one, which we just say is like a market rate raise. Because of inflation and the cost of living, you're just raising your haircut prices to match the other prices of barbershops in your city. It may be a $5 or something like that type of raise, but for example, if everybody else is charging $30 for a basic haircut and you're charging $15, you're obviously behind market. Now, this type of price raise, you don't really need to announce. It's just like at the grocery store or wherever else where they just slightly raise the prices of stuff just because of inflation and the cost of living. But we're not here to talk about that type of raise. We're here to talk about the next type of price raise, which is a premium price raise. This is where you say that, I actually want to start getting paid for my skill set. I want to get paid for my experience. I want to have a premium clientele where you actually want to make more money, but yet in less time doing less haircuts. Now, the goal is to do that, to make more money in less time, but a lot of barbers go about this in the wrong way and they end up losing a bunch of clients. They end up making less money in less time, and now that they're at a higher price point, they actually struggle to market themselves because now there's less people that want to pay for that premium service. The right way to raise your prices is to actually build real demand. You don't want to be a barber that just raises their prices because they feel like they're worth more, or they want to charge their worth, or they're tired of these other clients that don't tip. Like, those are just emotional reasons. We want to act like businessmen and businesswomen. Now, something that you have to understand is there's an actual difference between being booked up and from being booked out. Being booked up is, your day-to-day, where you go into the barbershop every day, you look at your schedule, and about 80% or more is filled with appointments. That means you're booked up. We're talking about getting booked out, where you open up your phone and for days, for weeks, for months in advance, you see your calendar is 80% or more full. That's what we want, to have real demand so we can raise our prices the right way. Now, why is building demand hard in the first place? And I think this picture right here is a perfect picture. It's a metal bucket. You have holes with water coming out the side, but also water coming in, and there's still some water in the bucket. And I think this is a perfect picture to really explain why building demand is so hard and overall what that process looks like. Now, the water that's coming into the bucket, that is new clients that are coming into your business. And then now the holes that you see with water coming out the bucket, those are clients that are leaving you every single month. That's called like a churn rate. That's a fancy business term for the amount of clients that you lose every single month. And then you see the water in the bucket. That's the clients, that's the water that you're actually retaining. That is your clientele. Now, the goal here is to fill the bucket as much as possible, right? So we want to plug all the holes. We want to reduce how many clients are leaving our business every single month, but we also want to put a lot of water in the bucket because ultimately we want our bucket to be overflowing. We want to have more clients than we know what to do with. We want to have more demand than we have spots in our schedule, because when you raise your prices like that, you're okay if you lose some more clients because you've been trying to fit in some clients that you just can't fit in. And that is the perfect spot to actually raise your prices. The goal is to have more clients than you have time in a day, to have more clients than you have spots in your schedule. It does not matter how good you are at marketing and getting new clients, that if you are losing clients every single month, it's impossible to really build a clientele. To build a clientele, you need clients to stay with you. And you do that by providing a good service. And if you just focus on marketing and you don't care about your actual service, you're never gonna be able to build a real clientele and actually be in demand. You'll always just be fighting for that next client. So step one is we just need to plug the holes. We need to start retaining a lot more of our clients. The easiest way to do this is pretty simple, is you just gotta consistently give a damn good service. Now, the reason why this is hard is because barbering is just hard to be consistent at, apparently. A lot of barbers are not consistent. So what happens is they start giving out like the homeboy enjoy haircuts. They start showing up late to appointments like, oh, my clients are gonna be cool with it. Like they start missing out on all the details, spraying that really good smelling aftershave, or like dusting the hair off the client's shoes, or getting a little hair on the neck. All the little stuff that you did in the beginning to gain the client, you stop doing it because you get a little bit of like that pride, a little bit of ego, a little bit of that swag from having some clientele. You start getting lazy. Your clients are gonna notice that, and then they're gonna start falling off your books. And another reason why is because when your service is that good, your business is going to naturally grow just by continuing to get more referrals. When your business is that good, how we say it is like a word of mouth worthy service, a service that is so good that clients continue to come back, but they also bring people with them, their friends, their family members, their coworkers. So you're growing your business and you're retaining your clientele. So when you start making more money, when you start building your clientele, it's like, be boring, be consistent, do the same stuff you did in the beginning to actually keep that client. Because those clients that really care about a good service, those are the clients that are gonna be actually willing to pay more money for that same service. But you can't start slacking on your service and then try to raise your prices on now what's like a horrible service that nobody wants to pay for. Remember, the more water you keep in the bucket, the easier it is to raise your prices. But the first step is you gotta start retaining the people that you already have and doing such a good job that they bring you new clients every single month. Now, our second step, we actually need to start filling up our schedule in advance. And a big part of this is really just client behavior. So I'm gonna go over the 4 things that I did personally to actually fill up my schedule in advance. Now, the first one is super simple. It's just a text blast. So a text blast is essentially when you get a software and with one click of a button, you get to send a text message to all of your clients, just reminding them to book their appointment in advance. I sent out one text message the other day and I literally got 30 or 40 appointments booked just off of that. Remember, we wanna start training our clients to book us in advance. We don't want them to wait to the last second, but they're not gonna magically go and do this stuff, guys. It's up to us as the barbers to actually go and start training them. Now, I know it sounds crazy to say you're training people, but you're teaching them that, hey, you gotta book your haircut in advance. You can't just get in last second, but it takes you actually starting that. So what you wanna do is get a software you can go and actually send out these text messages every 2 or every 3 weeks. And this starts to teach them to change their behavior, to start booking you in advance and not just wait to the last minute. Because if they're waiting to the last minute and you're getting super busy and they can't get a haircut with you anymore, then they're gonna fall off your books. And remember, we wanna keep that water in the bucket. We wanna retain as many clients as possible. Now, the second thing that I did to fill my books in advance was I started offering more reoccurring appointments. So if you don't know what a reoccurring appointment is, it's when you lock in a client's haircut for the same day, for the same time, every 1 week, every 2 weeks, or every 3 weeks. For example, if Johnny gets a haircut every Friday at 3 p.m., that would be a reoccurring appointment. You probably already have clients in your clientele that are very like scheduled, very like regimented. Those people, go ahead and book their appointments in advance for the rest of the year. Just let them know that you're blocking off that spot just for them. Like imagine if you came in and you saw that 50% of your schedule was just booked with reoccurring appointments. That's gonna start to fill up your books in advance and you're gonna start to seem like you're more in demand because you really are. But it takes you going and asking those clients that are already acting like reoccurring appointments, hey, let's just go and book that ahead of time. And if something happens, you let me know, we'll cancel it, we'll change it, whatever we gotta do, but it's better to book the appointment ahead of time. Now, the third thing that I did, and yo, this is so huge, this completely changed how booked out I was as a barber, is after every single haircut, what I did is I actually went and I asked them, I said, hey, you wanna just go ahead and book out your next appointment 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks in advance? Hey bro, if you have to cancel, it's totally okay. Just let me know and we could always switch out the appointment. Majority of the times, they're gonna make the appointment anyways, but you wanna go and you wanna ask them, hey, do you wanna book out that next appointment? This helped me to actually fill up my schedule in advance. A lot more people can actually do this than a reoccurring appointment. And guys, remember, I raised my prices by 40% and made an extra $40,000 that year. These are the real things that I really did to help me get there faster. The fourth one is crazy. Guys, as time goes on and you get busier, you're gonna have less time. You're gonna have less time to do the stuff that you once did in the beginning, which was marketing. All the stuff that you did in the beginning, now it's a little bit harder to do because you're actually busy cutting hair. So you have to continue marketing. Whether it's getting that stuff done before you come in the shop or after you leave or in those little gaps in your schedule, you gotta continue marketing, because remember the picture. You want more water going into the bucket, but you have to continue marketing. That's why it's important to make sure your service is really good to get those referrals, but you also have like 2 or 3 marketing strategies that you know work for you, and make sure to continue to do those, whether it's getting reviews or posting on Facebook or posting on social media or passing out a couple cards, whatever it is, make sure to continue to do those. Even when you get busier, continue to have those new clients coming in. Because guys, think about it like this. If you're about to raise your prices and you know you're about to lose some clients, when you know that you have a strong flow of clients coming in, you're gonna be okay. Now remember, you're making it harder on yourself if you don't retain those clients, but you're also making it a lot harder if you're not getting new clients consistently. You gotta focus on that as well. Now this is huge, and this is something that I had to personally learn. I was doing everything else, but it actually gets to a point in your career where you're too available, where you get too good, where you're too efficient, you're too fast. Like, you know how to fit in a lot of clients into your schedule. You know how to give out a quality service in 30 or 40 minutes, and you might have, some good work ethic where you're actually working a lot of days and a lot of hours in the shop. It gets to a point where this might actually hurt you being too available. And that was my problem, was that I was literally just too available. I always squeezed in a client, or I just worked a lot of hours in the barbershop, or I did these before and after hour appointments, and I was cutting hair every 30 and every 45 minutes. And when you're doing that, you literally have like 80 or 90 spots in your schedule that you have to fill in advance. And guys, that's hard to do. We have to limit our availability. We have to cut the supply. This is just basic business. This is basic economics, is that when you cut supply, demand increases. And remember, we wanna be in demand. We wanna raise our prices the right way. We wanna retain all of those clients. And we wanna actually make more money in less time. And if you're too available, it genuinely gets to a point where like you're too cheap. There's a time and a place. That's why all these things you have to do strategically. But the first thing I did is I actually looked at my tracking sheet and I took off my slowest day in the barbershop. It's crazy, but I actually took off my slowest day in the barbershop. But the reason why I knew that that was my slowest day was because I actually went and I looked at my numbers. A lot of barbers aren't even tracking their numbers, so you don't even know what is your slowest day. So you guys gotta start tracking. So check it out, I'm inside of our free community where we literally give away the exact tracking sheet that I actually use to track my numbers. So if you go to the classroom section right here, you'll see there's a Start Here course, there's a mini course with a bunch of free trainings, but right here, you'll see the tracking sheet tutorial. You can go here and make a copy and actually use this. I'm gonna show you what my tracking sheet looks like. So you guys can see, last week, I didn't put in my numbers for Saturday, but you can see right here, Thursday was actually my slowest day where I only made $538. You see Friday was a lot busier, I did 800. Tuesday I did 1,000, I took Monday off, and then Saturday I didn't put in my numbers. So that was probably, let's say like a $3,700 week. But you can see my slowest day was actually Thursday, but when I actually went and raised my prices, my slowest day was actually Tuesday. I was only making about, let's say $400 to $300 on a Tuesday, but every other day I was making a lot more. So I knew exactly what day to take off. And when you take this day off, your clients essentially are forced to go to the other spots in your calendar. Now, what I would suggest is that day that you end up taking off, still work that day, but you don't have to cut hair. You can use that day to work on the business. And this is a great day that you can continue marketing. That's a day where you can focus on content, where you can get inside of Facebook groups, where you can pass out cards, when you could run an ad. Whatever it is, that's a day where you can still work on the business marketing, just not working in the business as in cutting hair. Now, the next one that you're gonna do is you're gonna see if the booking app that you use has a look busy feature. Now, this is huge. Essentially what this is, it's like a percentage. You could have a 50% or a 30%, but what it does is it hides some of your appointments from your client's view. So if I turn my look busy feature on to like 50%, instead of showing that I have 10 appointments, it's gonna show that I only have 5. And then as clients book, it's gonna fill in those slots that it was hiding before, so I can still get those appointments booked out. I just don't look as available. We wanna train your clients to think that you are in more demand, that you are hard to get in with, that you have a valuable service. So having a feature like this in your booking app can actually help you. Now, unfortunately, not all booking apps have this. Some do, some don't. But if you're on the right booking app, go into the settings and see if they have a look busy feature. Start with maybe 30 or 40%. And don't worry, you're gonna get those times booked out, but you want your clients to start to come into the shop and tell you like, wow, man, like you're busy, or wow, like it was hard for me to get an appointment, or man, like how business been? It's been hard to get an appointment with approach you. That is what you want them to say. That's how you know that you're starting to do the right stuff and you're getting closer to being able to raise your prices. Now, the next thing that everybody can do is I actually added 10 minutes to my services. So my 30-minute haircut became a 40-minute haircut because nobody's gonna really notice that the times of the haircut change, but your schedule is gonna notice it and you're gonna start to get booked out a lot faster because you naturally can only service less clients in a day. Now, I did this when I was intentionally trying to raise my prices so that way I still had a good volume of clients trying to get in with me, right? I had a lot of water coming into the bucket from before, but now I went and I made it a little bit harder to book with me. I cut some of that supply. Now this, on top of the other things that I did, helped me to look more booked out. But since I already had a lot of clients from having a higher volume and really marketing my butt off, it was a lot easier. Like this process only took me a month and a half to get booked out like this because I was doing so much work on the front end. This is a tough one, and the rest of these are tough too, and I'm gonna tell you why in a second, but the fourth thing that I did to actually cut my supply is I started saying no to squeeze-ins. I stopped squeezing in clients, and it was very, very hard for me to do because you know that you're saying no to money, and some of those clients are really good clients that you know are gonna tip you, or they're willing to pay more to come after hours, and the problem with that is that it kills your demand because instead of them booking for tomorrow or the next day or booking you in advance, they know that if they hit you up, they can get in that same day and that you'll squeeze them in. And it's tough because I felt the same thing that you're gonna feel if you actually do this is I felt like, man, like I'm saying no to money right now. Like I could literally say yes, I know that client's gonna come in, I know that they're gonna bless me, but the problem with that is that you're making it harder for you to actually build demand. I started saying no. I started booking them for the next day or another day in the future. And sometimes they didn't even rebook and I just had to see them next week. But this started to fill up my schedule in advance and it started to train my clients to really learn to book with me ahead of time. So the next time that they came in for their appointment, now they did want to book that appointment in advance. They did want to lock it in because they knew that I wouldn't be able to get them the same day anymore. And one thing that I have to tell you is this. If I have to share one lesson, one key belief is that saying no to small money helps you get to big money faster. Yes, I said no to a couple $100 a week here and there that I could have made, but it helped me to raise my prices by 40% and make an extra $40,000 that year. So was it hard to do? Yes. But was it worth it? Yes. I made an extra $40,000 that year. Instead of making a couple extra bucks here and there, I made an extra $40K from doing the same services that I was doing before. I didn't have to raise my prices and start throwing in hot towels and shampoo. Even to this day, I make over $200,000 a year cutting hair. I don't do any hot towels. I don't do any shampoos. I barely even have a VIP service, if I'm being honest with you guys. And I'll say this is that if it's easy, it's not worth it. And if it's worth it, it's not easy. Is it hard to say no to that one squeeze-in client that you know is gonna bless you? Yes. But it's worth it because if you're actually doing this and you're following the steps, you're gonna be able to actually raise your prices permanently. And all the things that I'm telling you guys to do are things that I did myself, and I did these things consistently, and it allowed me to raise my prices. And I made an extra $40K that year, guys. Like, hear me, listen to me. This is real game. This is real stuff that I'm telling y'all about, but you have to apply it. Nothing's gonna change if nothing changes. Now, when you can open up your schedule and you can see that, man, I'm 80% booked out for days, for weeks, for months in advance. At the minimum, a week or two in advance, then you know that you're in a great spot of demand, of leverage, where you can actually raise your prices. But guys, please do not skip steps. Do not rush the process. Do not raise your prices before you are ready for it, because then you're gonna be one of those barbers. The barbers that are only doing a couple cuts a day. Yes, they charge more, but they don't make more. And then what's gonna happen? You're gonna be slow. You're gonna regret doing it. You're gonna take way longer to get to the money that you actually wanna make. And some barbers, I've even seen they have to like lower their prices and build back up again. Versus if you just did it the right way the first time, you would save time and actually make the money that you wanna make. But you cannot skip steps. Trust the process and go through it. I was able to raise my prices 40%, make an extra $40,000 that year without a big social media following. And the fact that we have so many other barbers inside of the community doing the exact same thing is crazy, but it's true. This is real. Real barbers, no matter the city, able to repeat this same strategy. It doesn't matter if you're in a random city in Kansas, if you're in Tampa, Florida, you're in California, you're in Minnesota, it doesn't matter. The strategy works. Now guys, if you wanna get more free trainings, if you wanna get that tracking sheet that I just showed you guys, right? If you wanna be surrounded by a hungry group of barbers that are just wanting to get to the next level. Did you know, like, I saw a study where you're 95% more likely to hit your goals if you do two things. If you share your goal with somebody else and if you actually let them help you, you are 95% more likely to hit your goal. Guys, join the community. It's free. It is literally free. The worst thing that happens is you actually find out that it works and then you're gonna wish that you would have joined sooner. So I'll see you there. Peace.